The minute a man rejects me, my first thought is it's because I'm bigger. I haven't completely worked through it yet, but this is something I keep thinking to help myself. So I like to think of men's preference for skinnier women as a systemic issue. It's not a personal issue. So if this happens to you and someone rejects you in favor of a skinnier counterpart, remember that has nothing to do with you and your body and how worthy you are of love, how beautiful you are, all of that. And it has everything to do with a system that pushes capitalism, misogyny, white supremacy, everything that I don't want anything to do with, down our throats and tells us to change if we want to be worthy of love. And a lot of times I think that men benefit from this system so they don't question it. And I don't know about you, but I don't even want to be with a man that doesn't question that system of oppression. But at the same time, it doesn't make it hurt any less when rejections feel like a personal attack on your body. It has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with a systemic problem. And this whole system has brainwashed us all into thinking that skinny equals hot. Skinny is hot, but fat is also hot, and it's frustrating to feel like it's not, and to have that reinforced by the men that you go on dates with and the people that you want to impress and you want to love you fully. I am still doing a lot of self-work on this, but it's been very cathartic to talk about it with you guys. You're all very smart, so if you want to add anything to this conversation, I love reading through the comments. Please let me know.
So here's my comment. Apparently, it's not the system's fault if a woman rejects a man for not being 6 feet tall, but it is the system's fault and the white man's fault if someone rejects you for being overweight. Honestly, it seems like women always want to avoid responsibility, even for their own bodies, because nowadays everything is blamed on the patriarchal white man. Apparently, it's his fault that you can't control what you put in your mouth. Just like it's supposedly not your fault that men don't give chances to the bigger girls or to the leftover women you'll see in this video. We want your help reaching 200,000 subscribers, so leave your comment and share your wisdom. And without further ado, let's begin.
Okay, so if not plus size, then what? Now, what I'm about to say might actually really hurt some individuals' feelings. Because sadly, we do live in a time when reality often does offend some. But that is just unfortunate, and reality doesn't care. Now, if a person is not aware of this, they should be. Approximately 74%, so the majority of Americans, are considered to be overweight, if not obese. And if a person has done any research at all, they would know that obesity-related medical issues are the leading cause of many individuals leaving this world before their time. Now, body positivity has done a great many things for individuals that do need to love themselves for who they are. But if a person truly does love themselves, they should strive to be more healthy. And sometimes that does mean admitting that a person is actually overweight.
And the thing is, you need to understand something. What you think doesn't matter when it comes to us.
Got it.
Beauty matters to us. Men are visual. And you ladies always want to change the game to benefit you.
Men are attracted to beauty, whether you like it or not. Men are visual by nature. And the reality is that not every man is attracted to plus-size women. I'm not saying that to offend anyone. It's simply a fact. Someone getting upset about hearing it doesn't change reality. This whole body positivity movement has led many people to simply end up dying from obesity. And besides, what message are you sending to the world? This goes for both men and women. If you're overweight, you look unkempt, you look unhealthy, and you look like someone who doesn't take care of themselves. The truth is that when it comes to dating, men generally want a woman with a normal weight. She doesn't have to be model thin. And honestly, women have it easier in this regard because it's something that can be changed. You just have to put in the effort, or you hit the wall, and the wall shows no mercy.
Leave men out.
But why? What is the point?
My nail tech is a woman. My doctor is a woman. My OB is a woman. My barista is a woman. The girl that tints my cars is a woman. The person I buy my cars from is a woman. You get the point. I do business with women. And if there is a man, I ask for a woman. Leave them out of the conversation. Leave them out of the business deal. Boycott men.
What's it like to be so obsessed with one group of people that they would actually go so far as to try to boycott them because they seem to think that women will do a better job at things? And someone's probably asking, what's their reasoning for this?
Because if it isn't clear, the reason America looks like what America looks like right now is because of men.
I would actually argue that it would be due to the uneducated masses, because let's be very clear, there are quite a lot of individuals that actually are under the impression that Europe is a country versus a continent. But continue.
We have a male problem. Be mean, be rude, carry pepper spray, a taser if you can, a bang if you can, carry all of it because they don't understand the word no.
They don't, do they? Based on what? The actions of some? So therefore they're going to want to punish the entire group of people.
The reason they are so scared of a matriarchy is because of what they did to us with the patriarchy. They may play dumb, but they know exactly what they did to us.
I know that they're going to really dislike this little fact being thrown in their face, but most men, in fact, haven't done anything wrong towards women.
Uno reverse men, dog them out, be rude. I cannot stress this enough. Women deserve revenge.
Bear in mind, it's individuals that tend to think a lot like this that honestly think that they would do a better job themselves of running the world.
Cut them out of the conversation, cut them out of everything. Decenter them. Fuck them. What do I know?
I really don't think that someone would want me to answer that.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
I'm going to be completely honest here. I actually agree with her, because I wouldn't want her anywhere near me anyway. I was going to respond to what she said, but first I need to make two quick observations. I don't know if it's just me noticing this, but every time I see a feminist woman, especially one who ends up being openly misandrist, they're almost always unattractive. Let's be honest, a very attractive woman rarely ends up hating men. She usually receives enough attention that she doesn't develop that resentment. But the unattractive one ends up hating you because she can't have you. And one more quick observation. Look at that woman's forehead. Damn, it looks like a soccer ball. Doesn't she think about asking her female hairdresser for a haircut that covers that forehead? Just a small piece of advice. Brother, it might offend her, but that forehead is huge.
Women.
Biggest regret in life? The time spent wasted on men. If I could get back the time I spent trying to attract a man, get a man, keep a man, and make a man happy, I would be president of the world. Imagine running a marathon and stopping every mile to see if a man is watching. That's how most women live. We plan our lives around men, their moods, their timelines, their potential, their comfort. And we think it's normal. It's not. It's just expensive. It costs you everything, right down to your soul. So much waiting to be chosen, waiting for clarity, waiting for commitment. Our whole life is on pause. For what? Think of life as a race. Give it your all. Run the race. If a man can keep up, great. He is free to jog right alongside of you. If he's behind you, don't look back. That's how you lose. And if he's in front of you, you can't see his face from there. You don't actually know who he is. The lie that we're sold is that love requires effort. Effort is for goals. Men should not be a full-time job. The energy that women give to men could build businesses, heal bodies, change entire bloodlines. But instead we give it to hoping, waiting, overthinking. My advice is live your life like men don't exist, and those who can keep up will. And the rest, let them fall where they may.
And then she ends up alone in a job that makes her miserable, with an empty house and a cat. But of course, with her glass of wine. Even a man who reaches the top eventually wants companionship. Women need to understand that they have a biological clock when it comes to starting a family. If they focus only on chasing success the same way men do, they sacrifice the chance to have a family. Also, if you spent so much time trying to attract him, you should have put even more effort into keeping him. Because if something was difficult to obtain, you should value and protect it. The problem is that many women behave well while trying to get a man to choose them and marry them. But once they're married, they stop putting in the effort to take care of their man. And the most curious part is what happens afterward. Many times, they're the ones who ask for the divorce, yet they still end up angry at men for the outcome of their own decision. And then they expect another man to come along and make them happy when they're not even happy with themselves.
People keep asking, why am I single? The real question is whether men are offering something better than my peace. Hi, I'm Kadina, and I analyze relationship patterns for a living. Here's what I'm seeing in 2026. Women aren't comparing men to other men. Men are competing against peaceful mornings without stress. They're competing against best friends who show up consistently. They're competing against things that women love to do without the drama. They're competing against their own money and freedom, the freedom to do what they want to do, whenever they want to do it. They're competing against having to not answer to anyone, or having to negotiate, or having to convince or persuade you. They don't have to make compromises with themselves, and they don't run the risk of being hurt. The competition isn't with other men, but it's with the life that they've built. The reality is they have their own homes, their own cars, their own money. They pay their own bills, and they can get up and leave whenever they want. They can go on trips or vacations without having to ask, and they don't have to feel guilty. So when men ask, what do women bring to the table? They're asking the same exact thing. Because if men don't even want to pay for your dinner or coffee because they're not sure if they like you yet, or if they do pay for your dinner or your coffee or your drinks, they expect something from you or give bare minimum effort while expecting princess treatment. They want to be chased. They want you to plan the date and sometimes drive them around if they're emotionally unavailable or not healed. But then they call you too much or too dramatic and then want you to comfort them when they're having a hard time, or need you to fix their problem, or giving inconsistency while asking for you to be loyal. Then what's the incentive for women to want to date? Bringing that to the table isn't better than her peace. They're not stressed about their bills. They're not wondering if they're stepping into a bare minimum relationship, if they'll text them back or plan a date or actually do what they say. They're not anxious about where this is going. Their peace is power. Their peace is secure. Their peace was built. Their peace is constant. Women in 2026 are not giving up on love. They're just giving up on settling. They're giving up on the bare minimum and low effort or non-existent effort. Women are not playing hard to get. They're just uninterested in low effort. Men are competing with women's effort to heal. They're competing with women's effort to do the inner work. They're competing against women's desire to want the best for themselves. Men underestimate how much women value themselves, value their time, their peace, the happiness that they can bring themselves. Men underestimate how strong their friendships are and how much their friends value them. And the men that don't understand this are losing. If you are a woman choosing your peace, I'd love to be friends with you. And if you're wondering if you're settling, I made a free quiz. Link in description.
Honestly, universities love inventing useless degrees just to take money from women. She's apparently a professional relationship pattern analyst. One thing I can understand is why in China they call these women leftover women, because she believes that what she explained represents the reality of all women. In this country, women earn more degrees than men, but most of them are in administrative fields rather than in areas of the economy that generate real profitability. Men own more businesses and often earn much more than women, even without going to college. Most women live on minimum wage or below the poverty line. So when you tell me that men need to offer a lot just to convince a woman to leave her single life, that sounds ridiculous. First of all, men tend to look downward on the relationship ladder. They also have more time to start a family, which allows them to look for younger women. For women, time runs out. The older they get, the less social value they tend to have. Even if she has money and everything she wants, which most men honestly don't care much about unless they're freeloaders or lazy, the successful man usually doesn't look for an equal. More often, he prefers a woman who might not even work, as long as she's beautiful, fertile, and treats him like a... We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Why do plus-size women hate men? Have you noticed that the less attractive a woman is, the more feminist she tends to be? If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating more content. Stay tuned for the next video from the wall.